I don't do Pomodoro the way everyone teaches it, and that's why it works for me now. One Wednesday, I booked myself a focus block to get ahead on the deck that wasn't due till Friday. 20 minutes in, my manager slacks me with a question, and I already know how it's gonna go. I answer it, I lose my train of thought, and I end up doing the deck at 11 the night before anyway. But that's not what happened. I finished the draft before lunch, and it wasn't the timer that did it, or block itself. It was one sentence I sent to my manager. 11 words. I'll show you the sentence. 3 things I got wrong. Why Pomodoro fell apart on me as soon as my work involved other people. The 2 layers I run now. Time blocking on calendar, Pomodoro inside the block. And the sentence. It's right there in the original book. One thing before we start. If you try Pomodoro and stop at some point, I'd like to know what did it. The 25 minutes, the breaks, or other people. 2 of those are what got me. For years, I thought the problem was me. Not enough discipline. That's the story I told myself at 11 p.m. in front of an unfinished document. But Pomodoro was built for one very specific person, a student with a quiet, empty afternoon. And for that person, it's great. Writing a whole draft is scary. Doing 25 minutes isn't. I told myself just 25 minutes, and somehow it was enough to start. And the starting is the part that doesn't happen on its own. Once I'm 20 minutes into something, I don't want to stop. Then I got a job where my calendar wasn't mine anymore. Meeting, 15-minute gap, meeting, coffee, meeting, lunch. Pomodoro needs a decent stretch. And 15 minutes between calls is enough to make matcha and regret every decision that led to this calendar. It's not enough to start writing. So I stopped opening the app, not on purpose. I just opened it less and less. And then one day, I realized it's been months. I don't think it was a discipline problem. I was using a student's tool on the calendar full of other people. The first thing that changed, I put my to-do list on the calendar as blocks with start and an end. 9 to 11, deep work. 11 to half past, email and Slack. 12 to 1, calls. Lunch. One more meeting at 2. 4 to 5, plan next week. And this fixed something Pomodoro never did on its own. The work already had a slot before the day started. I wasn't making 20 little decisions about what's next. I did the rough pick on Friday afternoon in that last block, and then I fix it each morning. And it stuck because I'm opening my calendar anyway. What I got wrong for a long time was filling the whole week. Now, I leave at least sort of it empty. Some weeks half, if it's a week with a lot of other people on it. That empty part is where the calls and the new requests go. When I planned every hour, the first unplanned thing pushed everything behind it. And by midweek, the plan wasn't real anymore. With the third bit empty, more things just land in the gap and nothing has to move. And every block has a priority on it. That's what tells me which one moves when something lands on something. I move it before accept meeting actually. Same day. Because if I don't do it right then, it doesn't happen. Then I fell apart in a way I didn't see coming. Writing 9 to 11 isn't the calendar. 9 a.m., I sit down, and then what? 2 hours is a long time, and my brain still wandered. Mail, Slack, the news, somebody's LinkedIn post about getting up at 5 a.m., which I read all of. And for a long time, I'd book this, and then I'd use them. I sit down at 9 and do something else. And that's where the timer came back in. Not to plan anything, just for the block itself. I sit down at 9, set a timer, and until it goes off, I'm only doing what the block says. Writing a script, for example, editing a video, I don't know. When it rings, I take a break, then it's set again. 2 hours is a few rounds of that. The timer I use is called the Yellow Tomato. We built it inside the productive.fish community and then decided to share it. That isn't much to set up. You pick your focus length and then your break length, and then you can add the sites you actually lose time to. It blocks them until the timer is done. My same short list every week, and one of them is YouTube. I'm aware, okay, that's the setup. 2 things still broke after that. First one, was 25 minutes. Here's where 25 minutes comes from. Francesco Torillo, late 80s, university student, and the timer of his kitchen counter happened to be shaped like a tomato. That's it. That's the whole origin of the number. It's not a law. It's a piece of plastic from 1987. It doesn't know your name, and it definitely has it in your calendar. Same goes for 5-minute break. So now I match both to the task. Something I really don't want to start gets 10 minutes. 10 minutes is small enough that I can't talk myself out of it. And I'm always still going when it rings, which was the entire point of setting it low. Deep work gets 50. 90 if it's going well and there is nothing booked after it. Email and admin get 15. They'll expand into whatever I give them. And the break scales with the block. 50 minutes of work, 15 off. At 10-minute warm-up, 2 minutes is plenty. After a run of back-to-back meetings, I'll take 20, go outside, and not talk to anyone. The breaks bothered me more than 25 minutes did. I'd finally get going, and the timer would tell me to stop. I know breaks matter, and I do take them. I just don't take one when I'm actually in it. I take it when I finish something. Second thing was other people. The villa actually has a protocol for getting interrupted mid-block. 4 steps. Inform, negotiate, schedule, call back. So, back to that Wednesday. 20 minutes into my focus block, finally in it, and my manager slacks me about the deck. Normally, I just answer it. This time, I send one message back instead, and it's doing 2 or 4 steps in once. Inform. I'm in a focus block till 11, so she knows I'm not ignoring her. Negotiate. I'll find you at 11. That's the half people drop. And busy on its own just means she asks again in 10 minutes. Schedule. This is a step I kept dropping. Now, I write it down right then. Manager 11. Otherwise, I spend the rest of the block remembering I owe her an answer. Call back. At 11, I actually go. The whole thing runs on the other person believing the 11. And they only believe it because the last time I said it, I turned up. The easiest version and the one I actually use is the Slack stages. 4 words. Heads down till 11. It does the informing before anyone messages you at all. And when something actually urgent, I just go. The steps are for the rest of it. I don't know if this works in every job. I assumed mine would be too chaotic for it, but it wasn't. That Wednesday the calendar had already done its job. The block was sitting there before lunch because I'd put it there, and I didn't spend it answering Slack. 11 words. I've been doing this for years now, and I honestly don't remember when I started. If I were starting again, I'd skip the calendar for the first week and just do the sentence. Someone messages me mid-block, I send it. And I write down when I said I'd come back. And if you quit Pomodoro before, I don't think it was you. See you next Friday.